Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what screams I'm very insecure. I used to be very insecure, so I'll go from my own experience. Lying about something to seem cool. It's very obviously a signal of insecurity because they don't like who they are now. I used to be this way. I got it from my mother. It evolved into pathological lying, where I would get so invested in a lie that I would eventually end up believing it and it would become my reality. In hindsight, that shit is horrifying. It's a serious mental disorder. A decade of therapy later, I snapped out of it and realized that I was acting like a fucking wet wipe on a regular basis and cut that shit out. I guess I got lucky then. I used to be super insecure, mostly about my weight and physical appearance, i.e. everything, and I used to lie about the stupidest shit. I was pretty insular too, content with gaming and having a very small amount of friends, or none, sometimes. Then I realized, despite everything that happened to me, I turned out pretty good and I shouldn't give a fuck about other people's opinions unless they are doing their best to look out for me. My best friend has my best interests at heart and she doesn't sugarcoat shit. So now, I'm all about honesty, even if it hurts myself or others, because it'd hurt more if the lie got found out. Edit. Didn't even realize I'd been given a gold. Thank you whoever did it. I'm gonna take a moment here to divert this question though. There's a good chance that people who label themselves as incel will be reading this, because by their very nature, they are insecure about themselves, women, life in general, etc. I'm an older editor, between 30 and 50, and I could have been considered an incel at several points in my life. Despite my weight, my genetics, my general appearance, I never let those things affect how I treat other people. I'm pretty much set in the idea that I'm done with whatever sexuality I might have had, but I have many good friends and made many good memories, despite all the horrible shit that's happened to me. My advice to you is better yourself before you start caring further about others. If your end goal is to get laid, you need to be sellable to the other sex. You need to lose weight, need to further your education, you need to treat people better. And I say that as someone who's doing all three. I'm working out almost every single day and losing fat / gaining muscle, without a trainer, without a fad diet. Just using moderation. I'm getting my college education from home, where I'm more comfortable, and I'm trying my best to be more considerate of others by not being judgmental unless I'm given an explicit reason to judge. Someone starts rumors about me, makes fun of my friends, etc. But you've got to do this shit for you and no one else. Stop losing yourselves into your games, stop losing yourself into the echo chambers advocating incelism and misogyny. If you don't have anyone in your life to make proud of you, look in the mirror and say I'm fucking proud of myself. Edit 2. This applies to girls, women, females, and anyone, anywhere. Regardless of your gender, nationality, creed, religion. Love yourself, be proud of yourself, first and foremost. Being unnecessarily mean-spirited to people. Had a guy threatening to kick the shit out of me if I told anyone he was dyslexic. Guy spelled things out for you, fair play. One-upping people constantly in conversations. Or bragging about how much better you can do something than others can. Which is a much better comment than yours was. My school is full of kids who one-up each other on how little sleep they get. When you're reading an Askreddit thread to make sure you're not making it too obvious. Just calling me out, ha. We were all personally attacked on this glorious day. Bragging about things not even in your control, like your parents' wealth. Man, I brag about my depression all the time. I had a friend recently brag that she got diagnosed with PTSD from her childhood. The more you talk about how good you are in bed and how many women you fucked, the less I believe you. I am terrible in bed and have fucked a grand total of 0 women. Wow, you must be a sex god. Just not shutting up about yourself. Constantly lifting yourself up and comparing yourself to others, while pushing them down. Also, constantly putting yourself down and comparing yourself to others. I didn't ask to be called out this loudly. All those people who post on Facebook those quotes that are like, don't worry about those who talk behind your back, they are behind you for a reason. Or they tag themselves into any and every place including the docs /hospital /somewhere personal. Then when someone asks if they're okay they reply with, don't ask Hans Oxix. So basically, People who live their lives through very active social medias, I suppose I'm trying to say. I've always thought the hospital thing especially weird. Also weird, I have symptom of something which may require an or urgent care visit. What should I do? Maybe go to the or urgent care. These are people with health insurance, mind you. I can see posting to see if anyone else has had X symptom or condition. Or what questions to ask your doctor. I have symptom of something which may require an or urgent care visit. What should I do? And the answer is always a shitty MLMs and essential oils. People who always have to one-up you in everything. If you tell a story, they have a better one. If you buy something expensive, they have to be something even more expensive. Some people's whole life is trying to win some non-existent competition. Oh, you went to Tenerife? Well, I went to Elevirife. You got cholera? Well, I got Yersinia pestis. My brother and I hung out with a guy for a while who was the absolutely king of one-upping people. It got to the point where we would make up slightly unbelievable stories to see how he would one-up them. Here's some of the gems he presented us. His father competed in an underground street fighting league with a titanium leg. He once watched a man get hit in the face with a severed penis, and he shot a metal target 100 yards away, blindfolded, judging its location from the sound of someone else shooting the target. Clarification on the flying dick. So, he claimed to have been an EMT for a year, which didn't seem possible with the timeline of his life, but that's beside the point, and he drew a lot of his stories from his EMT days. One day, he says, he's working with a guy who's been an EMT for 30 years. They get a call about some domestic violence, so they head to the house where the police are already inside. Our friend says he stepped into the house ahead of the veteran EMT, and he was greeted by a screaming woman waving a severed penis at the two police officers already inside. As soon as she saw him, she hurled the cock right at his head, and he ducked out of the way. The airborne penis flew through the threshold of the door, striking his EMT partner in the face. The man looked down at the bloody dick on the ground, looked up at our friend, the police, and the still screaming woman, threw up his hands and yelled, "That's it, I fucking quit," and turned around and walked off. He said he never saw him again. I knew a guy who could compete with your guy. That's right, I'm one-upping your one-upper per second. He once said that he got in a car chase with the cops on a dirt road. He escaped them by pulling the emergency brake and doing a 360 at like 100 miles per hour. This threw dirt up in the air, giving him invisibility, and he was able to keep the car perfectly straight on the road the entire time. This strategy worked so well, he did 360s continuously down the road. Does this guy sound like his name is Joey? His name is Joey. Edit, for those of you asking, he did really say a 360, not 180. Also, the car was supposedly a Dodge Neon. This was about 12 years ago when he said this probably. As an insecure person, I find it hard to look people in the eyes. I also find it hard to tell any stories about myself, because I'm afraid people will think I'm lying, or that I won't be part of the group because of personal differences. I always think everyone is better than me. I can see all the good in everybody, but I know that they see all the bad in me. Insecure people stand in the corner and don't join the group. I feel you, friend. There's something about eye contact and conversing where if I'm saying something I'll worry, shoot, do they think I'm lying? Wait, what if I am lying? And then obsess over the criteria that meets the situation. Example, I love cookies. But wait, do I like cookies more than other people? I don't eat them that often, so can I really say I love them? A silly little example, but my ability to rationalize needs a little help. People who feel the need to judge everyone in a negative light and who only want to see the worst in others so they can feel better about themselves. It just shows how unhappy they truly are. Ironically, people like this also feel like they are judged unfairly and constantly by the world. My ex-fiancé was like that. Homie could make anything bad about how the world is out to get him. I get robbed at knife point and it's about how he was late to work because I couldn't come pick him up fast enough. So clearly the world hates him. Fuck that guy. Just to add to this, it happens on Reddit all the time. You'll get a picture/video with no context posted to a sub solely made for making fun of people. No one gives the benefit of the doubt and the commenters make crazy assumptions about the person. Sometimes whatever the person is doing looks objectively bad, but it could literally be the worst moment of their life. Everyone makes mistakes and I don't think anyone wants to be judged by their lowest moment. Edit, hey r/awards peach edits, eat my entire ass. You judge others by their actions, but yourself by your intentions. It's not a fair game. I found that a lot of people on Twitter that feel the need to post about how great of a person they are and they have nothing but good intentions are usually the most toxic people I've seen. It's like they're trying to convince themselves. I also notice that the things they write about themselves are the kind of things you should let other people say about you. It's just tacky.